much amazing. Can we hear your new song, please?
The Need for Speed franchise is on the comeback trail. The revival started with 2009's Need for Speed Shift, and now Burnout developers Criterion Games have stepped in to keep the momentum going with Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. It's an over-the-top, arcade-style cops and criminals romp packed with amazing cars and crazy crashes. Beautiful, beautiful crashes.
Dispatch, suspect just ran the roadblock.
Simply put, Hot Pursuit's presentation is fantastic. All of the car models look great, and there's an extensive, fully licensed selection to choose from. Unfortunately, there's no cockpit view in the game, but there is some spectacular car damage. After all, Criterion is no stranger to making gorgeous-looking crashes. Seeing a $1 million supercar get smashed and crumpled in horrible ways is just warm and fuzzy. And the stellar sound design makes everything pop. Crashes are bone-jarring, and the engine noises gave me chills. Just because this isn't a car collection game or simulation doesn't mean Criterion slacked on presenting these cars well. As great as the cars look, the environments really steal the show. There's a huge variety of locations in Seacrest County. Mountains, forests, deserts, beaches, it's all here. Even the weather effects are amazing. Overall, these are some of the best environments I've seen in a racing game. Ever. Hot Pursuit is basically a game of cops and speeders, or racers as they're called here. There's no convoluted story. You go to a main map and select from police or racer missions. Police duties involve things like taking down racers or completing a track as fast as possible without wrecking. Racers are more concerned with outrunning cops or besting other racers in competitions. Driving is far from realistic here. It's more about fun than real-life accuracy. But the cars handle well, and they do feel different and respond similarly to the real thing. The Bentley Supersports drives like a tank, for example, while the Pagani Zonda Cinque is light as a feather. Sure, you can stick tightly to the right racing lines, but it's far more fun to drift around corners. The gameplay is spiced up a little with the inclusion of weapons. Both sides can use things like EMP blasts or spike strips to disable cars, while some abilities are specific to each side. For the most part, weapons work well and nothing feels unfair or overpowered. Mario Kart, this is not. As for other gameplay twists, well, you're not going to find many more. This is a focused racer. Its philosophy is to concentrate on driving fast and crashing, and doing it well. On one hand, Hot Pursuit is a blast and really doesn't get old. On the other, there's only so much you can do with the same types of races. You do constantly unlock cars and weapons, but the weapons are just upgraded versions of things you've already seen. There's not a lot of mystery here. What you see is what you get. It just so happens that what you get is pretty awesome. Luckily, the repetition is also offset by two big things: multiplayer and a cool new feature called Autolog. Multiplayer is pretty straightforward. It's a slick interface that gets you into the action fast as either a cop or a racer. Even though there's no split-screen multiplayer, Hot Pursuit is still a great game to play with a group of friends. Have a bunch of people over, pass the controller around, and wait for the screaming to start. But there's also a game on top of a game in Hot Pursuit, thanks to Autolog, a mini social network for your game. Autolog scours your friends list and sends you a constant stream of their accomplishments in Hot Pursuit. Everything from wins and losses, how fast it took them to compete in a race, to how close they are to increasing their rank. Autolog also alerts you when someone beats your personal best, and then it gives you the option to jump into that particular mission right away to try and reclaim your throne. It's a fantastic way to encourage competition, and I hope to see it in more games down the line. Oh, and the best part, when you beat your friend's time, you can send a little message to talk some trash. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is everything you never knew you wanted from a driving game. It's gorgeous to look at, the handling is great, and the events, weapons, and competitive hooks are just plain fun. The races can get a little repetitive, and the lack of a cockpit view is a bit disappointing, but really, a lot of this is nitpicking when you get down to it. If you're a fan of driving really expensive cars really fast and crashing them in really spectacular ways, this game is for you. For more on Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, head over to IGN.com.